A massive thank you to Tom, TU Gaming, Crown, Ice and Rick for subscribing to the channel. If you want to be featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 3 of Season 5 of the F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Yes, today we're here back ready for round 3 of the campaign and we head back to Imola. Of course, last season round, we had a brilliant race here at the Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari. Whether we're going to see that today is a very different question. You know, last weekend, if you missed out the Chinese Grand Prix that went live a couple of days ago, definitely recommend going back and checking it out. One of the most dramatic races I think we've had so far in F1 2021. Of course, there will be spoilers in just a moment as well. But yeah, Red Bull are looking mighty strong at the moment. However, yet to take a race victory so far this season there. Sergio Perez with reliability issues, Max Verstappen bottling it at about half distance means we're currently 2 for 2 as a team there. Lando Norris and myself each with one win apiece. 39 points clear of Ferrari, who are currently sat in second place in the Constructors' Championship. It's a long old season. We've got to try and take these chances early on whilst we can as well. Again, a massive thank you though. We've already smashed through 33,000 subscribers. We're well on our way to 34k. If you aren't already, we're trying to hit 50k by the end of the year. But, you know, if you could help us get one step closer to that, it would be massively appreciated. But yeah, let's just wait and see what happens this weekend. I've had a few questions from you guys about whether I'm going to include qualifying laps and practice and all this, that and the other. If you want to skip anything, it's all timestamped down in the description below so you can go to your favourite point of the video. Or, of course, if you're on mobile, you can easily just swipe across and it will automatically clip to the right point as well. But yeah, let's dive in then here to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, I guess we still call it, because, of course, 2 races in Italy this year. Right, well, here we are then back at Imola. I'm honestly tempted to just name this Grand Prix the San Marino GP, mainly for nostalgia here on F1 2021. But yeah, I must admit, all 3 of the new F1 tracks are absolutely brilliant fun. I've got no idea how I'd rank them out of the 3. Oh, that's a little bit wide though through the first couple of corners. That's not a good way to start the weekend though, immediately dropping it in FP1. Yeah, this weekend is all about being brave and committed, but not over-pushing the mark. Right, well, we went back to the pits, put a new front wing on the car, and we are back out once more.
Watch your MFD for the activation point.
That's a bit more like it. That should be purple. Yeah, there we go, purple score. Right, let's get on to a qualifying simulation run then. Game reckons a 12.8 is going to be a good time that we need, so fingers crossed we can go. I mean, China last time, we were about 4.5 seconds up on that, and then we got into qualifying and still didn't have the best pace in the world. It all sort of came together right when it mattered last weekend, but whether that's going to be the same today is a very different story here. I know the best strat to do right here, of course, is soft mediums. We learnt that last season, but it's just about trying to be so brave in qualifying. You guys have spoken, though. I am definitely going to be bringing sweat mode laps back, so wait for that in Q3. I enjoy him, you enjoy him. It's all good fun all round. Round in the final couple of corners, though, pushing to the absolute limit on this qualifying sim run. It is going to be about half second up. That should be purple score. Let's get into quali. Right, well here we are then, qualifying day in Imola. Let's try and get this thing underway then. Starting of course out in Q2. Q1 was of course all the usual suspects. So yeah, we can jump straight in. There is the chance that we could see some weather this weekend, just like we saw in Shanghai last time. Is Guan Yu Zhou? Is he immediately going to ruin my qualifying lap? He might just well be. It's looking like it's going to be very close between the top 3 teams there. Looks like it's going to be us versus Red Bull and Ferrari this weekend. But yeah, Guan Yu Zhou is already completely ruining my qualifying run here. Come on. What are you doing, man, in your Alpha Tauri? Perez already down into 12.2s. That's not particularly good. We've sort of been seeing mid to high 11s was the aim in Q1. But come on, this is desperately something that needs to get fixed on F1 2021. This is probably one of the biggest sort of odd bugs that there are in the game at the moment. He's still not moving. We're weaving around behind him. That is, I mean, not a great move, might be, but he's got to learn to get out of the way there. Come on, Codys, that's got to be fixed. Anyway, through the final corner then, this is certainly not going to be a particularly good lap to start us off there. Hamilton now down into the 111s. Finally making his presence known this season, perhaps, but a 13-1. will certainly not see us through, and we might just have enough fuel for a second lap, but I'm not convinced.
Radar suggests some weather is going to hit in around 5 minutes' time, so stay on your toes.
And that's why we need to do our qualifying lap nice and early here in Q2 as we head through Aqua Minerale. Running a little bit wide there, but we're 7/10 up at the moment as we head down in towards the chicane. Let's just jump over the curbs nicely, leave it in third gear there so you can roll on the power on the exit, and now we're starting to find a bit more time, 1.4 up, as we've just got 2 more 90-degree left-handers to navigate to finish off this lap. Oh, don't get it in the gravel, we just about get it slowed down through the first, keep it nice and tidy on the second, up towards start-finish line. That's going to be a mid-11, and that should see us through into Q3. Purple in the final sector, 68 thousandths away from Hamilton. And there we go then, the track has got wet towards the end of Q2 there, and that means Lando Norris down in P12, not able to make it through into Q3 for the third race running this season there. That is devastating for our teammate who joins Guan Yu Zhou, both Astons and Alpines there. But Hamilton definitely seems to be back this weekend. First time he's gone fastest in a session I can remember in quite a while. But yeah, 4 cars from 4 different teams inside the top 4 there at the end of Q2. Is the rain going to stick around for Q3? Verstappen made it through on mediums, so that's going to be interesting when we get to the race. But yeah, let's dive in then to Q3. Well, this is not quite what we wanted to kickstart Q3 here in Imola. Looking very, very slippery here, and I'd argue this probably is one of the hardest tracks to drive in the wet, just due to the nature of how many braking zones you're trying to get the front end rotated and slow the car down at the same time. So I think this session's probably just going to be about trying to pound out some laps, unless, of course, the track gets better later on. It's meant to just be intermediate conditions throughout the entirety of this one, but like we've seen before, this car tends to come alive when it starts to rain and pour, so maybe we'll see that this weekend. They're just trying to be really careful through the first couple of corners. They'll work out where the grip is. The grip is not out there as we almost do a Hamilton into the hairpin there. It'll allow us to get on the power nice and early on the exit, but this is certainly going to be a difficult session. There we go, Valtteri Bottas in his McLaren down into the 1 minute 20s. What time are we going to be able to do? How close are we going to be to that as we head through the final couple of corners? Up towards start-finish line there, trying to avoid getting any wheel spins. Tsunoda! Oh, he's in a Merc, isn't he? Of course, goes fastest. We go 4/10 off of the Mercedes there. I was almost very, very surprised by Yuki Tsunoda until I remembered. Yeah, let's go for a second run. Not the best run through the chicane, but so far this lap's been pretty tidy. Could be the first lap into the 119s. Oh, there goes Verstappen, a 119.6 through the final corner, up towards the line. How much are we going to improve by? It's just going to be down into the 19s. We're going to join them on the front row so far. Yeah, P2.
You're currently on the front row of the grid.
Let's see if the track gets any faster. Well, we have just about got enough time then to go for another double run here at the end of Q3. Let's see if we can try and find a bit of time. We made it through on basically, what, 2 runs at Q1 and Q2, but Q3, yeah, it's all about trying to put laps in. Verstappen's still fastest on a 19.6, so we don't need much. And could we now maybe get our first pole here on F1 2021 My Team? Well, we're pretty much even then with our first lap as we come down in towards the final couple of turns here. So I think, yeah, once we get the second lap in, there might still be a bit of time to find. Sweat mode then has got to be well and truly engaged. We need another 0.3 of a second if we want pole here in Imola. And let's just see if that's the time we can find. Wide through the first couple of corners there, and already 0.3 down is not what we need. Oh, we're just not finding the time at the moment. Track's getting a bit too wet, a bit too slippery, and we're just struggling to put down the power in a couple of places here. It looks like for the second weekend in a row, it's going to be a Red Bull that stops us from taking pole position here, but it is going to be, I think, P2 on the grid here in Monza. That is gutting.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three: Verstappen, Mr. Monaco, and Charles Leclerc. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
When are we going to get this pole position here on F1 2021? We're nearly 100 episodes in to the My Team series and we're still yet to start from P1 there. But Verstappen takes it this time round. Remember though, he's starting on mediums, so we might have a good chance of jumping him off the start. Charles Leclerc just behind us. I'm sure him and Ferrari want a strong weekend as well there. Sergio Perez, fourth ahead of Tsunoda in fifth, ahead of Bottas in sixth place there. But yeah, let's dive in then to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. But first, a quick word from our partners. I've partnered up with the F1 store for 2022, the best place to buy Formula 1 merchandise. Currently, they have an incredible end-of-year sale on with plenty of 2021 lines available at up to 40% off, with official merch available from every Formula 1 team. If you're interested, click the link at the top of the description or in the pinned comment down below to help support the channel.
Hello there and welcome back to Imola, home circuit of the Scuderia Ferrari. We expect to see a lot of local supporters in red today. They've all turned out for what we have every expectation of being a sensational event here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. 3.1 miles of track here at Imola, featuring 19 turns, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Remember that Imola differs from most other Formula 1 circuits as it's driven anti-clockwise. Let's hope no one forgets that today. The exit from turn 18 will probably be the setup for many of today's overtakes, leading as it does into the longest straight of the circuit and its only DRS zone. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Mr. Monaco completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Perez, Yuki Tsunoda, and Bottas, Sainz, Gasly, Hamilton, and Daniel Ricciardo, Joe, Norris, George Russell, and Stroll, Ocon, Mazepin, Callum Ilott, and Nicholas Latifi, Mick Schumacher, Giovinazzi, Lundgaard, and Robert Schwartzman. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
How many times am I going to explain to Jeff this season? We don't want just like a 10th place finish here. We need podiums. We need race victories if we want to try and make this championship hunt work. But here we are then on the grid, ready for round 3 of the year in the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Game saying softs to hards. We're going to try and do soft mediums like we did last season. Imola's a weirdly fast track though. I always forget just how fast it is in a Formula 1 car. You think of it as quite like a fast, straight, slow corners, but yeah, a lot of the corners, especially with the downforce levels we're running now, are still stupidly fast at the moment on F1 2021. So yeah, soft mediums is the key today. We need Lando to try and fight his way back up the order as well, you know, if we want to be standing a good chance in the Constructors' Championship. Max on the inside on the very, very long run towards turn 1 though. We have had so many bad starts on F1 2021 recently. We need a good one today. You guys have been giving me so many tips and tricks. I cannot thank you guys enough. But yeah, let's just see what we can do then. Round 3 of the year here from the Italian Grand Prix. Mighty long hold. But it is going to be... Oh no, we were too cautious. Charles Leclerc there rockets past us as well as Sergio Perez. No wheel spin that time. But also just no throttle application. As we head into turn 1 there, Perez going for a big send on Charles Leclerc. How they avoided contact there, I'll never know. There's yellow flags out behind. I think there's been a bit of carnage with one of the Alpines going off towards the rear of the field. But yeah, second down to 5th off the start of the GP there. So that has been a terrible, terrible start here in Imola. And like I said, I was so worried about getting wheel spin on the getaway there. We just didn't put enough throttle in and went absolutely nowhere. So that has been, yeah, an absolute disaster of a start. Like I said, you know, our main title rival, Lando Norris, at the moment, only 6 points behind us this weekend. But unless we have an absolute disaster, we should still outscore our teammate. The AI just can't really fight their way through the order. But Verstappen leads ahead of Leclerc and Perez. Perez almost managed to make the move work into P2 early on there. He was dead set on going for a send, but you have to wake up pretty early. And you got to be pretty brave to try and make a move like that work on Charles Leclerc. But in towards the final couple of corners, Verstappen leads at the end of that one, but Leclerc is piling on the pressure here. Ferrari have been mighty, mighty quick at the start of this campaign. Is it finally another team's turn to win a race here, or are we going to be able to pull something out of the bag? You can see Leclerc gaining in on Max back down towards turn 1, but Bottas as well. McLaren have really underperformed in the first 2 races, so have both Mercedes-powered cars actually. Obviously Mercedes themselves as well. Are we finally going to see McLaren back fighting where we thought they should be? Or Bottas, small mistake as though he head out the final corner then to complete lap 2. That McLaren though has got so much grunt out of the final corner. New fastest lap of the day. Gasly goes even faster. We're going to drain the battery on the run back down towards turn 1 there. Bottas tries to sit in the middle of the road. We have a look up the inside. We squeeze him out over the curbs on the exit, a la Max at the start of last year's race. But we are now back up into P4 then of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Big snap of oversteer there as we've got even more carnage back down at turn 1. I think that's the other Alpine with issues. Are they out? Yes. Sorry, it's the Williams even of Nicolas Latifi out of the Grand Prix there. And that is not the way the Canadian would want to start it today. 2 Mercedes failures in the opening 3 GPs. End of lap 3. First time round now with the DRS. Let's just see what sort of top end speed then Max Verstappen's got. Surely Charles Leclerc is going to be able to apply the pressure. Leclerc to the outside. Yellow flag still out though from Latifi's stricken car. Oh, big contact between Leclerc and Max Verstappen there as we head out of the first couple of corners. It's green flag racing once more though. And look at this Verstappen. Oh, tries to go back up the inside there. I get completely lost where I was. Almost squeeze out Bottas on the exit there. But Leclerc into the lead then of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix there. And that's exactly what Ferrari want to see. I'm sure the Tifosi gone wild at that one. But I think him and Verstappen have got away without major damage. But never 2 drivers that are willing to give an inch. And they have butt horns for the first time this year. Oh, Perez really struggling out of the chicane though. Are we going to be able to apply the pressure to the Mexican as we head down the hill? Big old squeeze in towards the final couple of corners. Perez tries to hang us out to dry. Don't say we're going to pull this off. Round the outside, tiny bit of contact. Perez understeered out towards me there. I think they gave him enough room on the inside. FIA seem happy with that one. And Sergio Perez, he's had a really, really tough start to the campaign. Has not had any smooth races so far. And that is an unfortunate spin for Sergio. But like I said, I felt like we gave him enough room on the inside. Let me know down in the comments below. To be honest, I think that how much he squeezed me through the first part, we were still there. He probably should have been expecting it. And you can just see now, maybe Max Verstappen's got a tiny bit of floor damage or something like that. Or perhaps it's just the tyres, but he is struggling to stick to the back of Charles Leclerc there. And you can see how hard he's pushing at the final corner there. Little kick of oversteer from the Red Bull. We go even faster though, down into the 113s. And there we go, around the outside of Max Verstappen on the run back down towards turn 1. Oh, we have to brake super late, but we've got slightly softer rubber. And therefore we're able just to keep it pinned ever so slightly longer there. And up now into P2 of the Italian GP. It's all change at the front from the start. But now it's us versus Charles Leclerc. Of course, Verstappen, though, playing the long game here on his harder compound of rubber. But genuinely, I feel like this car, for the first time this year, is the quickest on track of a weekend. And Charles Leclerc might be even easier to overtake than the rest of these guys. Look at the run we've got on Charles Leclerc. Back down towards turn 1. You can't do that, Charles. Big squeeze.
We're attempting to manage it.
Oh no, that's not what we want to hear from the team either. Charles Leclerc, super aggressive. Down towards turn 1 there. We're lucky we're both able to keep it on the island, but please don't say we've got an issue here. I can't have just said we might have the fastest car of a weekend and then immediately have an issue here. Looks like one of the Alpha Tauris, though, has gone round and they've caused a roadblock and we got a safety car. Looks like Lando Norris was going side by side with, I think that's, yeah, Guan Yu Zhou. Guan Yu Zhou gets squeezed. And then it's just a roadblock behind him there, 3 wide as George Russell sneaks through. Oh! That's not what you want to do there as it just cuts away. One of the Williams. That must have been Callum Ilott there, completely smashing into an Aston Martin. And that is, yeah, definitely a safety car.
Okay, looks like a mechanical failure. We're going to
have
to find a safe spot to retire.
Oh my god. It doesn't happen often.
retire as soon as possible.
That's 2 engine failures in 2 seasons now, have both happened under safety car. I cannot believe that. I genuinely thought this weekend we can make it 2 from 3. And it's gone up in smoke. 7 laps in to this GP. That is gutting. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. We've just been fighting our way back through. None of the engine parts were highly worn. But Codemasters and the racing gods have decided otherwise this weekend. Genuinely, that could have been a race we dominated.
Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals.
They take the checkered flag then here in Imola in what has been another outstanding Grand Prix. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team. So let's review the updated drivers' standings. Max Verstappen now leads the Drivers' Championship. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
It's got to be Lando Norris, hasn't it? Smooth, confident and assured. I've got no doubt that he and his team are going to be over the moon with his performance today.
Let's move on to the constructors. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
I cannot believe it. Like I said, it doesn't happen often on F1 2021, but all the new reliability changes ready for Season 5 have certainly tested us. Mercedes, Red Bull, and now ourselves with mechanical failures inside the first 3 Grand Prix of the year. Who would have thought Ferrari would be a reliable team early on this year there, but absolute pain at the end, or an early end I should say, to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix there. Max Verstappen takes home the dub, made the one-stop work in the end. You know, like I said, patience was key from the Dutchman today, and with that reclaims the lead of the Drivers' World Championship there. Yuki Tsunoda in P2 on the one-stop as well. Charles Leclerc definitely the fastest off the 2-stoppers there, ahead of Gasly. Lando Norris, a really good recovery drive from our teammate there, into 5th, ahead of Bottas, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz and George Russell. That gets a point for Aston Martin. They're ahead of Sergio Perez. Stroll got a 5-second time penalty. I'm guessing that was for that carnage early on, and it was just myself and Latifi that didn't make it through to the end of the race. That does mean, championship-wise, 4 cars separated by 5 points now after the opening 3 races of the year there. Verstappen just 1 point ahead of our teammate Lando Norris there. Charles Leclerc just 3 points back, and we're just another 2 behind Charles after the opening 3 races there. Like I said, Tsunoda in 4th ahead of Gasly, and Tsunoda in 5th ahead of Gasly, Sainz, Hamilton, Bottas, and Sergio Perez still down in 10th place after the opening 3 races of the year. It has not been a smooth start for the older Mexican now, I think it's safe to say, in Formula 1. Constructors-wise, McLaren gets some good points on the board, means they move up past Alpine and Aston. Haas again back past Williams on countback. The gap at the top, though, down to just 32 points there, and 4 between Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari each as well, means they are all gaining with that unfortunate result for ourselves. But we can't afford to get too upset about that. We've got to pick ourselves up, get ready for the next race. We'll be back Saturday afternoon, ready for the Portuguese Grand Prix round 4 of the year. Of course, we've got the F2 career mode returning to Silverstone tomorrow, Saturday morning and Sunday. If you aren't already, make sure you get yourself subscribed, and yeah, we'll be back very, very soon. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.